lunch. Welcome to the cafeteria. This is right where you'll be entering, right by our patio and our cafeteria bathrooms each day. We want to make sure that we're all coming in the cafeteria this side so that we keep nice lunch and recess flow. When you walk into the cafeteria, if you have a cold lunch, you can go right to your assigned table. Unless you are in fifth grade, fifth graders do have the privilege of choosing where they want to eat. Everybody else, kindergarten through fourth grade, will be sitting at an assigned table. If you're going to be buying hot lunch, you're going to want to get in the hot lunch line. So you are not going to get your lunch card. You are going to get in line first without it. And that line is going to start right here. So you will line up along this wall. The line will continue here past the bleachers. And boys and girls, it's really important when you're waiting in line right here, at no point should anybody be climbing on the bleachers. It's a safety hazard. I know they look fun to play on, but lunch is not the time to do that. So again, the line will continue this way, and then come over here. I'm going to show you where the lunch cards will be. When you get to this point, one of our lunch teachers will be right here, and they will take your lunch cards out of this pocket and they will hand them to you as you come through the line. So you'll have your lunch card when you get here. You'll kind of hug this wall. And when our cafeteria ladies give you the signal, you can go ahead and get your tray. You'll come through the lunch line. You will give your card to pay. You can choose this side, or you can come along this side. We'll speed it up. Take your tray, and now those of you with hot lunch can head right to your cafeteria seat. All right? Thanks for keeping all those things in mind so that we have a smooth lunch flow.
Boys and girls, once you have your lunch and you're seated at your cafeteria table that you've been assigned, if you're K through 4 or grade 5, the seat that you've chosen, we want to remind you of some rules that we have in the cafeteria so that everyone can finish their lunch within the 30-minute time frame that we have. We ask that once you get your lunch and you're seated, you remain seated throughout the lunch period. If you need something, please raise your hand so that one of the paraprofessionals or Mrs. Frost or myself can help you. Also, only one student per class should be up and going to the bathroom at any given time. Ms. Frost showed you where those bathrooms were. We also want to remind you that you need to clean up after yourself. We are going to have a very short amount of time in between each grade level coming in, so we want to make sure the cafeteria stays clean. So if everyone cleans up their area, our new cafeteria will say neat and shiny and clean. And finally, we want to make sure that everyone remembers to use their inside voices. This is a beautiful cafeteria, but it is very open to other parts of the building, and we do need to be mindful of that as we're in here. So we're going to ask that you talk to your friends across from you or next to you, but please refrain from screaming or yelling to friends across the cafeteria. Thanks so much, boys and girls. Boys and girls, let's talk a little bit about hallway expectations. Like you see, in a big, brand new, beautiful building, we have lots of things in our hallways as you're walking along that you might want to touch. We have windows, we have our beautiful subway tiles, pictures, and we even have tack boards. What we're asking is that you keep your hands to your sides and to yourself as you walk in the hallway. Our hands have dirt and germs on them that could dirty up our surfaces if we're touching everything as we walk in the hallways. Also, when we're walking in the hallways, we want to remind you that in addition to keeping our hands to ourselves, we keep our mouths closed, our voices are off, we stick together as a classroom, and we have calm bodies. It's important that we're not running in the hallways with 660 students. If we're not calm in the hallways, we could get hurt or accidentally hurt someone else.
Boys and girls, here we are at our bathrooms. It is definitely a place that in our beautiful new building, we want to make sure that we keep it looking nice, that we keep it safe. So there are a few rules that I'd like to go over when you are using the bathrooms at Neck River. Come on in. When you are in the bathroom, number one, we want to make sure that you are using it quickly. So do what you need to do, and then we want you back in class so that you're not missing anything. When you're in the bathroom, please make sure that you are keeping privacy for everybody who's using the bathroom alongside of you, that you're keeping the floor dry. There should never be water being put on the floor. We're washing our hands when we're done. We're drying our hands using either the paper towels or the hand dryer and making sure those items, the paper towels, get into the trash can when you're done. Also, please make sure at no point should anybody be climbing under or over the bathroom stalls. Okay. Welcome to the bus. The first thing I'd like to show you is that anytime when you board a bus, you are going to be looking for these window clings. These window stickers will outline each grade level. So kindergarten students will sit in the front, first grade, second grade, third, fourth, and fifth all the way in the back. You need to select a seat that matches your grade level. Now, if you're an older sibling, let's say you're in fourth grade, and you want to come up and sit with your kindergarten brother or sister, that's awesome. Older students can move forward for siblings only, but nobody really should be moving backwards. Once you've selected your seat, you need to make sure that you are fully sitting in your seat. We don't want any hands or feet or backpacks or anything blocking the aisle. That's because your bus driver needs a really clear line of sight all the way to the back of the bus. Now, we all want to be doing our part to make sure that everybody gets home safely. So again, when you are seated in your seat, you need to do just that. You need to have your pockets glued to the bus seat. You can talk quietly with somebody to the right or to the left of you, but at no time should you be standing up, hopping over seats, or moving seats. Once you pick your seat, that is where you stay. At no time do you want to be you want to keep a calm body, you want to have a calm voice, because again, you do not want to be a distraction to your bus driver. Their eyes need to be on the road, and if they're needing to turn around to remind you about a bus rule, that is not going to happen. And again, it's just a major safety concern. So you will ensure everybody's safety by being calm and, again, having good behavior on the bus. Another rule we have on the bus is that at no time can we have any food or drink out. And that's really for two reasons. Number one, crumbs and juice spills make a mess for the bus drivers to have to clean up. Nobody wants a dirty bus. But secondly, we do have students with food allergies. So you might not think it's a big deal to eat a little snack, but it could really be a safety issue, a health issue for somebody sitting in front or behind you. Lastly, if you are a fourth, fifth grader and your parents have gifted you a cell phone, those are not to come on the bus and they are not to come to school. So no cell phones should be on the bus at any time. Thanks. Now let's talk about those bus rules. I know that sometimes we can get excited about something on the bus and maybe we forget and we start to yell or we hop up out of our seats. We know we're going to try not to do that, but if it happens, we're going to place sort of like a 3 strikes and you're out rule on the bus this year. If it happens one time, your bus driver is going to give you a gentle reminder. Please sit in your seat. Please stop yelling. And you need to follow through with that direction. If it happens again for a second time, your bus driver is going to ask you to come move to the front seat. You've lost the privilege of sitting in the back of the bus. Again, for safety reasons, they need to ensure that they can keep you up close to help you follow those bus rules. And unfortunately, if it happens a third time, which I don't think it will happen to most of you, you guys are very good. But if it does happen a third time, you will be referred to either Mrs. Farmer or myself. And if we get a bus referral, that means parents would be called and you might be assigned a consequence, such as a permanent front seat or being suspended for the bus. So please, let's all do our part together to keep our rides safe and happy and everybody have a good time on the bus this school year as we get to and from. you guys to get on it. We have a few rules that encompass the entire playground that I'd like to start with. So number one, it's important that when we're on the Neck River Playground, we're including everybody. This is a space for everybody. Nobody owns a swing or owns the slide or owns the zip line. This is a place where all boys and girls can play, and if somebody says, hey, can I join your game? Can I swing next to you? I would hope you would welcome them in and make them feel really good about having a friend. At all times, your hands and feet need to keep to yourself. This is a touch-free, hands-free playground, and that's for safety. There's going to be over 100 kids out here, so any games like tag, again where we have hands-on, are not allowed, and that's to keep everybody safe. We want to make sure we are taking turns using the equipment, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go to each station. We want to work together to clean up our recess toys and put them back in our class's bin. We're always a good sport, win or lose. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but we expect to say handshakes and good games out here. And lastly, you are going to make sure you are following all the safety rules that we are about to go over today and following any extra directions that are given to you from an adult outside. All right, let's go check it out. All right, boys and girls, here we are at the super cool zip line. The zip line will be open for all of our students in grades 2 through 5. If you'd like to use the zip line, the line is going to start on this end of the piece of equipment. One person will be up here at a time. That person will take their turn. Your turn is to go down and to come back. That's it. You get one down and one back, and then you will walk out of the way for the next person to come up on the platform. We want to make sure that in order to use the zip line, you use it independently. So we can't have teachers helping to lift you on, so you do need to be able to use it all by yourself. I also want to make sure that you're keeping 2 hands on the rope at all times. And lastly, for our 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, at no time can you be running and chasing people under the zip line. You have to go around because we would never want anybody to get knocked out. That would hurt pretty bad. So thanks for following the rules of the zip line.
All right, boys and girls, let's talk about the rules of the swings. As you can see, we have swings on this side of the playground. We also have swings on the other side of the playground, so we've doubled the number of swings we had at Jeffrey. So a couple of rules we want to remind you about regarding the swings. You must be able to mount the swing on your own. We cannot have adults lifting you into and out of the swing. So in order to use the swings, you must be able to mount them on your own. Swings must be used one student at a time. We cannot have more than one student in the swing. Again, that's for safety. No pushing each other. We don't want to take the chance, again, for safety reasons, that someone get knocked over by the swing. So you must be able to pump your legs and use the swing independently in order to use it. We also want to make sure that you stand and wait a safe distance away from the swing if anyone is swinging, so that you're not accidentally hit while waiting to use the swing. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, we cannot have any jumping off the swings. Again, we want to make sure that you stay safe, so you need to get on and off the swings when they are at a complete stop.
Here we are. This is called the We Go Round, a really cool piece of equipment that you could use as anything. It could be the house, it could be the spaceship, it could be the clubhouse, whatever you want to turn it into. No matter what you're playing on the We Go Round, we want to make sure that there's a limit of 10 people at a time. We also cannot be climbing on top of the We Go Round. So have your fun inside, limit it to 10 people, no climbing on the top. While we're talking about climbing, we have all of these great climbing apparatuses for you. We want to make sure that you're climbing using the black ropes, and again, we're never climbing on top of the brown poles. That'll help keep everybody safe when they're having fun on the playground.
Boys and girls, here we have our spider. Doesn't this look like so much fun to climb on? A couple of rules we wanted you to keep in mind to keep you safe. As you're climbing the spider, you need to be facing the ropes. No turning around backwards, because that can be really dangerous and we don't want anyone to fall. Also, as you're on the spider, we're not going to be jumping while we're climbing, because this could cause you to lose your balance or other friends that are climbing on it to lose their balance. So those are the 2 rules for our spider to keep us safe while we're playing. While we're talking about other pieces of equipment, our slide really only has one rule, and that is that we have to climb up to the top of the slide and slide down. No climbing up the bottom of the slide to the top of the slide while we're using it. Again, That will keep us all safe and allow us to use the equipment the way it was intended.
Welcome to the recess field. Every day there'll be opportunities for either a soccer game or for our fifth graders, a two-hand touch football game. Those games are open and available as long as you are following the rules with them. And the thing to keep in mind when you're playing field games is that this is not the same soccer game that you play in town or with your travel team. This is recess soccer, so the rules are a little bit more, are going to be different, and the intensity is not quite as strong. So our teachers will always be making the teams. You need to follow all of their directions and the rules of the field game that's at hand. And again, it is merely just for fun. You might win, you might lose. At the end of every recess, I expect you to be shaking hands and say, that was fun, can't wait to play again tomorrow. What's also going to be in this field, they're not in yet, but we do have 2 of our buddy benches being installed. So if you go back to our very first rule was that everybody gets included in this playground. And if you're finding you have a day where you maybe just are having trouble getting into a game, that's okay. It happens to most people from time to time. You can come have a seat on the buddy bench, and we will have trained buddy bench members from our 5th grade leadership team that will be helping people to learn about the buddy bench, and you can go over and help someone if you see somebody on the buddy bench. Invite them to come play a game, ask them to go for a swing, ask them if they want to slide. That just means that that person needs a little help finding something to play today. And I know that you guys have big hearts and you'll always be keeping an eye out for that buddy bench. Follow all these rules on the Neck River School Playground and it's going to be a great day.
Neck River students always play safe. Follow the rules at Neck River School. It's important to follow the rules at Neck River because it keeps us safe. Be safe, be responsible, be kind, have fun. Thanks for watching our video. Stay safe.